Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Bit of a different video today. Today we're going to be talking about someone who I assume needs zero introduction on YouTube. It's DanTDM. For the few people who may have been living under a rock, DanTDM is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, UK YouTuber. But what a lot of people don't realise is that before he was DanTDM, this giant Minecraft channel, he was PokemanDan level 45. Obviously, as the name suggests, he made Pokemon content, mainly based around the TCG. So why am I talking about him today? Well, around 8 years ago, I actually worked with Dan slightly on a video. It was basically me providing him with some information and him making a good video out of it. But this video has popped up again recently. Some people have been asking me about it because I believe Dan mentioned his old channel on a podcast, and if you go to that channel, this video is his most viewed video. It was a video of the top 5 rarest and most expensive Pokemon cards of the time. So I figured, hey, what kind of YouTube hopeful would I be if I didn't milk this opportunity to get DanTDM in a video title? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be watching this video for the first time in probably at least 6 or 7 years, and we'll react to it. We'll see how things have changed. So let's go. So here we go. The top 5 rarest and most expensive Pokemon cards of all time from 2012 by PokemanDan level 45.
Hey there everyone, and welcome to a new video showing you the top 5 rarest and most valuable Pokemon cards of all time. Let's start with number 5, where we see a set of cards that was released exclusively at a very special event about 11 years ago. This half deck in the image is a very common Japanese version of the deck, but the rarest of the half deck cards from that particular tournament are the English ones, which take our 5th rarest slot.
I mean, it's starting out strong. These cards are probably still towards the top 5, top 10 rarest and most desirable cards of all time. The non-Japanese versus cards, but especially the English. Very cool set. I still only know one person who has a set, and they actually have 2 versions of the Mantine. The Mantine actually comes in an error version and corrected version. I don't believe we knew that when this video was made.
And on top of all that, there were only approximately about 12 in the world at the moment.
That 12 in the world is probably more likely to be 24, now that we know that they were given out twice because of the corrected Mantine.
However, only 2 of these decks have been shown to the rest of the community, so the rest are still out there somewhere. So a set of 30 cards where only 2 full sets have been seen must carry some kind of value, right? They certainly do, and starting off our top 5 rarest cards is a value of about $5,000 to $10,000 for the English version of the VS series half decks.
I believe there is actually a standing offer of around $35,000 to try and get one of these sets now, and there are no bites at that price, so who knows if one actually sells.
And this is where the value and rarity lies, with these 10 Pokemon Snap inspired Pokemon cards, which were made into the real thing, and a set of each were passed out to the 10 winners of the competition, making this a very unique set, very rare indeed.
So I don't think that is accurate. I think what actually happened is that each winner got 20 copies of their card. I don't believe that each winner got a full set of these cards. That's kind of backed up with what we've seen by one winner, I believe, selling 17 copies of the Poliwag in one go a few years back. And there are certain cards there where no copies have come up. You know, they're non-graded. We don't know anyone with one in a private collection.
Because of this unbelievable rarity, these cards have sold from anything from around $600 to a huge $18,000 plus.
Yeah, can you imagine a world in which a Snap card sells for $600? I think the $600 was a Coughing that sold, you know, not too long before this video went up. I believe there was a Charmander sat on Yahoo Japan at 1,000 with no takers for a little while too. Even the higher estimate of 18,000 is probably pushing it for what you get a Snap card for these days.
And moving up the list to number 3, we have a set of cards that are only giving out at Pokemon World Championships, so you have to earn them and they're very rare and hard to obtain. These cards are called the number 1, 2 and 3 trainer cards and were given out as prizes at only the most prestigious of tournaments.
So this was a decision we made when coming up with the list initially for this video. We grouped all of the number 1, 2 and 3 trainers together, so the Pikachus, the TMBs, the SSBs and the English Worlds cards. That was because at the time, they were pretty similar in value. Not so much anymore. The Japanese ones are now, you know, leagues ahead of the English ones.
These cards were then reprinted in late 1997 and 1998 at the
Battle Roads
Lizardon and
also.
Kamex Mega Battle conferences, also in Japan, and then reprinted again to be given out at the Tropical and Super Secret Battle tournaments held in 1999. These cards are exclusively given out at Pokemon World Championships for those that place first, second, and third in respective age divisions. They're an extremely hard card to get hold of, and more importantly, extremely expensive.
Now actually 6 copies per year, but that didn't start until the year after this video. 2013 was the first year that VGC players got these trophy cards at the World Championships also.
So here comes the part you came for, the estimated price for such a rare collection of cards. It is predicted that purchasing just one of these cards will cost you around $3,000 to $6,000, which is fully dependent on which year you buy them from and which placing card you're looking at.
Yeah, it's not happening, is it? Even the lowest placing English ones, number 3 and number 4, you'd be lucky to get for $6,000. The higher placing English ones, you're probably looking $15,000 plus. The Japanese ones, you know, the Battle Roads ones, the SSBs, the Pikas, the TMBs, you know, I don't think you're getting one of those for less than 50k. You're probably even pushing closer to 100k for any of the number 1 Japanese trophies.
In at number 2 we have an extremely old card which is also considered to be one of the hardest to get hold of in the world, as they are so old and so few of them were printed originally.
Here's where we're going to get interesting.
The card is a pre-release Raichu and is actually an error card which was accidentally created by Wizards of the Coast when they were in control of the Pokemon TCG. But a select few Raichu cards, actually from the base set, had become attached beside Clefable on the sheets and was mistakenly printed with the special pre-release stamp.
I will say that when this video was created, that story was pretty much taken as gospel by the whole collected community. Nowadays, obviously, there's way much more discussion going into it as to, you know, was it actually an error card? Was it something deliberately created? Where did it really come from? How many were actually created by Wizards? But at the time, that wasn't the case. This was just something that was fully accepted by everyone.
The kind of price one of these will set you back is at least $10,000, with some selling for even more.
So this is the one card where the value has probably remained pretty steady. You know, if a pre-release Raichu came up either from a Wizards of the Coast employee who could prove that they had it from back in, you know, 1999, 2000, or the one copy was ever sold, Dark Master Trainer Mike's copy, which we can trace to its current owner, which won't come up for sale, then, you know, the estimate of 10,000 is probably still around what the few people who would want it would still pay. It's probably still a decent price for both buyer and seller, which I guess does show kind of how much the community has moved towards things such as grading, making sure the cards are authenticated, moving away from things like the pre-release Raichu where they don't have an official release, things where it's just, you know, a mistake or it's something that is from inside a company that shouldn't really exist. But either way, it's probably not realistic that we're ever going to see one come up for sale anyway.
So here we are, number 1. This next card is the rarest and most expensive card in the Pokemon TCG, fetching prices that leave the rest of the list behind. The card is called Illustrator and looks like this. This card was released in 1997, not long after the Pokemon TCG first surfaced. But
I mean, still true today, still the most expensive Pokemon card of all time. Always has been, always will be.
Unsure how many exact winners there were, but it is widely known that only 6 of these remain in existence.
Kind of going back to what I said about the pre-release Raichu and that story being taken as gospel, you know, when this video was created, ask anyone in the hobby who was collecting and they would tell you, yeah, there were 6 illustrators. There were only 6 illustrators given out. That was just, again, it was taken as gospel. That was just, we knew that was true. Obviously it wasn't. We found out in later years that there were actually 39 illustrators given out, rather than just the 6 that we thought or, you know, everyone knew at the time.
At the moment, these cards are valued at anything from $10,000 to $20,000.
Put another 0 on that, and you might be close. You can put another 0 on it and double it, and you might be close. I mean, the last ones were selling for over 200k. It's just going to keep going up. Who knows what the next one's going to sell for? God, I wish I'd bought one when they were 10,000. But don't we all?
With history showing that one has actually been sold for over $20,000 in the past.
Another thing that's kind of crazy is just the idea of the most expensive card in the hobby being between $10,000 and $20,000, when there are probably close to 100 cards now, 100 different cards that would fall into that price category. you know, most of the base set holos in PSA 10 First Edition are going to fall into that. There's so many trophy cards and stuff that are going to fall into that category now. And honestly, $10,000 to $20,000 sales of a single card probably happen every month, if not every week, maybe even every day, depending on how much this stuff is changing hands. And to think, when you talk about it, just 8 years ago, a $20,000 sale of a Pokemon card was like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It's just kind of crazy to think how far we've come from then to the present day in just 8 years.
Just before I go, I just want to thank a fellow player, Dan Norton, for helping me with a lot of the information here, and you can check out his Pokemon TCG collecting channel in the description below.
Not many people did, but it's there. And there we have it. I hope you're all feeling as bad as I am about the prices we could have got some cards for if we had just bought them 8 years ago. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Obviously it's a bit different to anything I've done on this channel before. And of course, big shout out to Dan, honestly one of the hardest working people on YouTube. So thanks again for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and as always, I will see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching. Check out some more videos right here.
And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Pokemon content from DJ Gigabyte.
Gotta catch 'em all!